Hi guys, hello. Okay, we are going to talk about Austria today. I don't know if you guys can hear me. If you can hear me, please just put it on the chat so I will know if you can hear me. And you can as well share with your friends so that we can talk about Austria. All right, so welcome guys to today's live stream. I don't usually do live stream on Instagram, but I just wanted to go on with that today. I'm still going to post this on my YouTube channel and all the links so that it will be clickable when you guys want to navigate that. So we will be talking about Austria today, and I want to be sharing with you guys how you can be able to apply for universities in Austria and how you can apply for your visa. So please share this live stream so that as much people as possible can get this information. And don't worry, I'm going to record it and I'm going to post it on my YouTube channel so you can always go back to it anytime you need this information. Okay, so we are going to talk about Austria, and the first thing that we are going to talk about is why you would want to choose Austria. Because if you've watched my past videos about universities, I always try as much as possible to give you reasons on why you can think about that particular country. So when it comes to Austria, one thing that we all know is about the low tuition. So in Austria, the tuition is really low in the sense that you pay around 300 and something euro per semester. So you pay 300 something euro per semester. So in a year, you'll be paying around, let's say, approximately 790 euro, approximately, but it might be lesser than that when you have to go for private schools. So if you times that with your currency, you will see that it is not even up to the money that you pay in your home country for like private universities or something like that. So you will have the opportunity to enjoy low tuition in Austria. And one other reason why you should or why you can think about Austria or choosing Austria is that you can be able to move with your family, right? So I believe that when we are thinking about moving abroad, one question that we always ask is if I can move with my family, if it is possible for me to move with my family. So Austria is a country that you can move with your family, but it has to be master's degree. So it has to be master's degree. And then another thing that you need to know about Austria is that even though the language is like German language, their official language is German language, but majority of Austrians speaks English. And Austria is a really developed country in the sense what it helps is that it will help you to find a job, and it will, like developed countries, there are like jobs available there in Austria. So if you are just joining now, don't worry, I'm still going to record this and I will post it so that you can always go back to it. So as I was saying, you can easily navigate jobs around in Austria, and Austria is a tourist site, so that makes it available. That makes like all those jobs like customer care jobs, tourist jobs, and like all those simpler jobs available in Austria. And also Austria, the capital of Austria, is a really developed country, is a really developed city, and there are a lot of all these international meetings like United Nations, all those WHO, WTO, all those things are in Austria, in Vienna. That is the capital of Austria. And that makes it like a lot more open to companies, so you can easily find job there. So we also talk about another reason, which is like the post-study visa in Austria. So we know that a lot of European countries, some of them might have like 6 months and some might have like 1 year, but Austria is like UK, it has like 2 years post-study visa. So what it means is that you are enjoying a low tuition. I mean a low tuition of about 700 and something euro. And then you are also going to enjoy your post-study visa after you've graduated from the school. Okay, what this post-study visa allows you is that it allows you to find jobs. But one thing that I've noticed throughout my research is that some of the schools in Austria, especially for people that want to go for bachelor's degree, you need to listen. Some of the schools in Austria, I'm also going to give you the list of schools because I get a lot of messages. People say that I cannot find an English taught bachelor's in Austria. So don't worry, I'm going to give you a list of that. I prepared a list for that. So I'm going to give you a list for the English Taught Bachelors. So what I discovered during my research is that unlike some European countries, these Austrian universities, there is a mandatory 3 to 6 months internship. So when we are talking about internship, Austria is like the number one in internship. They even have external internships. So external internships is like you can even go to like Italy for internship. You can even go to France for internship. And also they have the external internship whereby if you're, for example, if you're in Germany and you want to just go for internship in another European country, you can easily navigate that in Austria. So they have a lot of internship programs open. So if you are going for your bachelor's degree in Austria, you will have like access to a lot of internship programs and opportunities. So if you are going for business administration, for example, international businesses, like the courses they have in Austria, they don't put like 200 courses and at the end of the day you cannot find job. Most of the courses that you can find in Austria, those are the courses that is in demand in that country. So if you cannot find that course in Austria, then know that that course is not in demand in Austria. So it might be a bit hard for you to find a job as an international student. That is how it works. So you will find out that you see a lot of business administration, international business, electrical engineering, electrical engineering, artificial intelligence, informatics, export-oriented management, medical and pharmaceutical biotechnology, and all that. You will find out that you will see a lot of all those courses. And all those courses are the only courses that you can actually study and you get an internship. So your reason of getting an internship is for you to get a work permit. So when you've now like gotten an internship and you've stayed there for like 3 to 6 months in that company, you are likely going to get a job offer from that company. So in a case that after that 6 months that you don't have a job offer, then you will use your 2 years post-study visa to look for a job in Austria. And let's say after that 2 years, you look up and down, you could not find any job, then you also can apply for job seeker visa. They also have access for that job seeker visa. So those are the benefits of Austria. So if you are just joining us, don't worry. I will post this video on my Instagram and on my YouTube so you can navigate that, and I will also post the necessary links. So the next step is, how can I apply to these schools? How can I go about the application process of Austria? Austria actually have like one of the easiest visa application, like the fastest visa. They have like the fastest visa. I know like in Nigeria, if you're a Nigerian and like sometimes, not all the time, if your document is complete and everything, you can actually get your visa the same day that you submit your document. Yes, you can get your visa the same day. So, but it depends on how ready you are and how ready your document is. Okay, so how do I apply for Austrian universities or Austrian admission? I'm going to explain this very carefully so that you will know which step that you would want to take. Number one is that most of the schools in Austria, they require legalized documents. But there are some schools that does not require legalized documents. So what it means is that if you check that school that you want to go for and you check like how to apply, or they call it maybe eligibility criteria or what you need to submit, if you check the document listed and then you will see if they accept you will see if they accept you to submit your documents without legalization, then that is okay. You can submit your document without legalization. But most of them might require you to submit your documents with legalization. So what are you going to do, or what is the advice? In as much as just few of them, just let's say if it is 20 universities in Austria, maybe 5 of them might require you to submit without legalization, and the rest 15 requires you to submit with legalization. So for my advice, if you have the money and and you have the time to go through the process of doing the legalization, then I would advise you to do it now. Because when application starts, that might be a little bit late for you. I will give you reasons why it will be late. Okay, let's say you found 3 schools that you want to apply for and then they require legalization. what are you going to do? The first step is for you to identify the document that you need to legalize. So we are going to go with people that want to go for like bachelor's degree. So if you want to go for bachelor's degree, what are the documents that you need to legalize? Please listen carefully, because there is a mistake that we might make with this. So the document that you need to legalize is your high school certificate. You need to legalize your high school certificate. You need to legalize your results, your what is it called, testimonial. Okay, so someone asked what is legalization. I will just answer it since it's aligned with what I'm saying. It's more of, we call it verification of documents, to know the authenticity of your documents. So I'm going to tell you how you can verify that, but let's list the document first. So for people that are going for bachelor's degree, you will need to provide your high school certificate or your high school diploma, and then you will need to provide your high school result. So in Nigeria or in West Africa, we have what we call WAEC, that is the West Africa certificate result, and then you need to provide your testimonial. So you need to provide these two documents. Then you need to provide, I think those are the two documents that you need to provide. If you want to add your primary school certificate, that is okay. But I will tell you the reason why you should not add your primary school certificate. So if you want to add it just for the application for the legalization, that is very much okay. Okay, so when you've identified this document for people that are going for a bachelor's degree, now for people that are going for masters, what do you need? All you need is this same document for your bachelor's degree, that is your WAEC or your West African certificate. I don't know what it's called in Kenya, I don't know what it's called in Uganda, but you guys can identify like your high school certificate and then your high school result, or your high school testimonial and then your high school results. So in Nigeria or in West Africa, we call it West African Examination Certificate. So if you bring that certificate, you bring your testimonial, then you bring your bachelor's diploma, bachelor's certificate, that is your graduation certificate, and then your transcript. These four documents. These four documents are the document that you will use for your masters. So if you bring this document for bachelors, and then for masters people you also bring that document, then you take it to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and then Ministry of Education, or Ministry of Education first before Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So I don't really know how it works, but between them you need to know where you will take it. But yes, but also mind you that in some country, I think Cameroon, I don't know if they have these two separately. Okay, thank you. I don't know if they have these two separated, like the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I know that some countries just have one board that is in charge of this authorization or legalization thing. So they have one board that is in charge of that. So you have to identify the board that is in charge in your country. So when you've identified that board, you take your documents and you go to this board. So if it is Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you go to that and legalize or authenticate your document, or whatever they call it. That is just internal legalization, which means that those board have identified your document, and they say that this document is legit, that it can be used to study abroad. So that is what they do. So what is the next step that you need to do? The next step that you need to do is, okay, thank you so much. Ministry of Education before Ministry of Foreign Affairs. The next step that you need to go for is now to book appointment at the Austrian Embassy. Right now, the appointment at the Austrian Embassy is so far, like it's almost like December, because a lot of people have booked. From my previous video I made about Austria, that time it was around September. But as of 2 months ago, it was almost November. So I don't know now, it might be like December. People that are booking legalization appointments. So I'm going to post their website. You can navigate that directly from YouTube. I will also post it on Instagram, but you cannot click on it. So that is why. You can click on that from YouTube. So I'm going to post it. So this particular link, you click on that link. Maybe if you've, after this video and you decide that you want to go to Austria, then you can start now to first of all book an appointment for your legalization, because it is the verification of document takes a long time. I will explain. So when you click on that link, I will write it something like appointment link. I'll write it and I'll post it on my YouTube and also Instagram so that you can click on it. But Instagram you cannot click, so YouTube you can click. So when you click on that, you select your country. And then you select the what is it called? You select the capital of your country. But for Ghanaians and I think 3 other countries in West Africa, they don't have the Austrian embassy. So they use Nigerian Austrian embassy. So, but you can use VFS from your country to send it to Nigeria, and then they can legalize the document. So you need to also check through that appointment link so that you can then navigate that to the VFS office. Okay, so when you've booked appointments, you fix a date that is as much close as possible. You fix a date and then you go ahead with your internal legalization, like I said. So with that internal legalization, when you've done that, and let's say your date is now tomorrow to go to the Austrian embassy. So all you need to do is take those documents that you've already legalized. Don't add extra. Take those documents and go to the Austrian embassy. So when you go to the Austrian embassy will take your documents and you will pay for Nigerians, you will pay the amount of 200,000 naira. For other people, I think Ghanaians and two other countries, they pay like 300,000 naira. I will explain why the money is huge. So when you've submitted the documents, they will go for verification. The Austrian embassy will go for verification. What do I mean by verification? Those documents, that school that you say that you went to, they will send a lawyer to that school. They will go to those schools. That university that you say you went to, they will go to that school to verify if the university is real and to also verify your documents. So since you are in Ghana and you are sending it to Nigeria, they need to send somebody, probably from Nigeria to Ghana, or they need to pay someone in Ghana to look a lawyer in Ghana to look at those schools that you said you went to. That is why the money is huge, because they need to pay those lawyers to look around to know the authenticity of your document and also the authenticity of that school that you went to. I hope you guys understand. So when they have verified your document, it might take time, because if your school is not seen in this world, that might actually take time. But if they were able to verify it as soon as possible, then it will not take time. Some might even take up to 8 weeks. So that is why I said you need to pick the closest date for your legalization at the Austrian embassy. So when they are done with that verification, they will send you an email or they will send you a message that they are done with verification, that you should come and collect your documents. And then when you've collected your documents, they will give you an enrollment certificate. So all you need to do is you can even do legalization at that point, or you can just take that enrollment certificate, I think it's called verified certificate or something. They will give you a letter, and then you need to start your application without legalization. So the first thing that Austrian embassy does is verification, and that 200,000 naira that you are paying is for verification. So when you are done now, the Austrian embassy will call you to come and pick your documents. So what people do is that when you arrive, then you can be able to do the legalization as well immediately. But now the legalization now costs around, I don't know if it is 20 euro or 80 euro per document. So that is why I said don't add extra document, don't add too much document, because after you spending 200,000 naira, you still need to spend the legalization money. After you spend 200,000 naira for verification, you still need to spend I think 20 or 80 euro for legalization. So when you've paid that money for legalization, then they will now legalize your document and give you, and you can use it to apply for schools. So 2 things are involved. One is that when you verified your document and they give you that letter of verification, then you can just use it to start your application before legalization. When you now get your admission, and the school gives you enrollment certificate and everything, you can then go to the Austrian embassy and do legalization. I hope this is not confusing. If you are just joining now, I will post this video on my YouTube channel, and I will also post it on my Instagram so that you can always go back to it anytime you want this information. So when they have legalized your document, or when you've taken your document after verification, you can start your admission application process. So the admission, thank you so much. So the admission, I think the main admission runs from, I think, January to April, or some of them might run till June or July, depending on the school. So, but the earlier, the better for you. The earlier you apply, the better for you, so that you have more time to prepare for your visa. Now, coming down to visa, when you've gotten admission or how to apply, okay, when you've gathered your documents, you will then go to the school that you want to apply to, and you search for the course you want to apply to, and then you make your application. Some of the schools have two things. One is that some of the schools have this thing that they might write the unit entrance exam, but you might not write entrance exam. So some of them might be your motivation letter. That will be your entrance exam. So when you are doing your application, some of the schools will tell you to first of all submit your motivation letter. So when you've submitted your motivation letter or your SOP, then they will go through it. If they like it, they might call you for interview, and after the interview, they will tell you to apply. So when you apply, at least you are like 80% sure that you'll get that admission. While some of them don't even care, you just, especially for masters, it's a bit easier, but for bachelors, you might have to prove everything, prove this, prove that, before you can get admission. So yeah, that is how it works. When you now apply, then the school will get back to you, or you can even ask the school if you are going for interview or you're writing exams, because some of them you might write exam, but I've never really seen anybody that wrote exam. I've never seen anybody. Some of them just went for interview and their motivation letter. So that is how they got the admission. So when you've applied and you went through the process, the school will now give you your enrollment certificate. And after paying the tuition of 700 and something euro, they will give you your admission certificate. And with that, you can then prepare your visa document and go to apply for your visa. So what do you need for your visa application? All you need for your visa application, you need your international passport, you need your enrollment certificate, the one that you got from the school, you need the same document you submitted during your legalization and every other thing process. You also need to provide it. So if you only stopped at the verification stage, you can as well take your document at the same time and legalize it, as well as the visa process. Everything will be done at the same time. So if you don't want to spend that 80 euro for the legalization, you just want to stop at the verification, that is okay. When you've gotten admission, you can do everything during your visa process. So that is completely okay. After legalization, they will just look into your visa and they will give you visa if your documents are complete. So you need your medical insurance, you need your accommodation, let me see. You need your accommodation, proof of accommodation. You need to book an appointment, of course. And then you need your proof of fund. And then you will need 80 euro for your visa and 120 euro for your resident permit. So these are the documents that you will need. So these are the documents that you need. So when you submit your document and you want to do the legalization at the same time, then the embassy will do the legalization and then you can apply. And then they will do the visa process next and give you your visa and your resident permit. So I'm going to just go through the schools. I will tell you the name of the schools that you can see bachelors, English Taught Bachelors, and some of the courses that you see it, so that you guys can as well check it out. I will post it on my YouTube channel with the link so that you can click and go through it. We have Canton University of Applied Sciences. They have electrical engineering and communication engineering for BSc. And then we have let's see, St. Polten University of Applied Science. They have automotive mechatronic and whatever engineering. So we have another business school, international. They have international business administration and all of them. But there is a school that I want to talk about. This school, their money is a little bit expensive, but they have a lot of English Taught Bachelors. So the name of the school is Krems University of Applied Science. Is it? Yeah, Krems University of Applied Science. So they have international wine business, informatics, business administration. All these are in English, like bachelor's degree. Export-oriented management, medical and pharmaceutical biotech, tourism and leisure management. But their admission is about 3,900. Sorry, their tuition is about 3,900 to 4,900. So they are a little bit expensive. So yeah, they're a little bit expensive. and then I'll post I'll post the rest of the schools on my YouTube page so that you can go through it and then check the course that you want to apply. So I'm going to post this video on my YouTube as well as Instagram, so you can go back and watch and see if there is anything you don't understand. Then I will as well explain that. So let me go through some of the questions here. Okay, so we can do legalization before getting admission. Yes, you can do it like I explained. You can go back to the video and you I think there is how I explained it. There are schools that don't really require that, but majority of the school does. So you just need verification. There are 3 steps legalization for Austria, as I explained. One is that you need to do internal legalization. That is for the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. 2 is that you need to do verification at the Austrian Embassy. You have to book appointments and do verification at the Austrian Embassy. So that after that, you will get your verification letter, and with that, you can decide if you want to do the legalization at the same time, or you can use it to just get admission. So after getting admission, during your visa process, you can then do legalization, and you just submit all the documents and they will do legalization. You pay for it, they will do legalization, and then they will do your visa process. So they can do everything at once. So you just need to understand how it works. One is internal legalization, that is the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs, then verification, and then the other one. How about moving from within Europe with authenticated but not I don't really know how it works. I don't know how that works. If you got your documents from Africa, from a third world country, you need to legalize it in that country that you got the document from. So if you got the documents from outside Austria, as they said, you need to legalize internally, and also you need to do it at the Austrian embassy before you can submit. Okay, so so I don't need to add my international passport and birth certificate. The last guy that got his, he did not add the international passport and birth certificate during legalization. You will add it. You will add your international passport during your visa process. Of course, that is what you use to get your visa, right? Okay, so thank you guys for joining, and I'm going to be sharing it and also some of the schools so that you can be going through it now, since admission is going to start very soon, and then you can start your preparation. And if you're just joining, don't worry, the video is recorded, so you can always go back to it. Thank you guys, bye.